What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to another episode of Vaporwood. Kennard here, and today we're going head-to-head with the Turbo V1 and the Turbo V2 by Ohm Nation. You guys hear that shit?
What's up, YouTube?
Alright folks, we have a new face in the house tonight. To my left is local flavor artist and a good friend of mine. This is Chase. Chase, say hello to the people.
Hey, what's up, YouTube? This is Chase. You can hit me up on Instagram at iChaseClouds. I've been vaping for almost 2 years now. I'm definitely a cloud chaser. I'm a hobbyist. I'm into it for the sport of it. I love the bigger the better. That's about it.
This guy builds stupid, crazy builds. He's a bit modest, but that's alright. We'll deal with it. Anyway, enough talking. Today we're going head-to-head. You see it, the Turbo V1, Turbo V2. Let's cut to the chase. No pun intended. Get right up close. Check out the ins and outs and the major differences between the Turbo V1 and the Turbo V2. Here's the Turbo V2. By Tobecco and Ohm Nation. There's the box. Pretty standard. Looks nice. Got your Ohm logo on there. Pretty much it. Little cardboard box. Pull it out. You have a little flap that opens up. You have the same card that talks about the plastic turbine. You have a bag of goodies, which comes with extra screws and extra O-rings. No blue screwdriver. And here is your Turbo V2. It comes in a few different colors. I have it in white, obviously. Alright, and you can see them right next to each other. There's an obvious size difference. This one, the V2, is a bit smaller. V2 only has the heat fins at the bottom. Smaller drip tip. You know, it's just smaller all around, which I like. It's got smaller airflow. See that the airflow is a bit smaller. It's kind of hard to tell, but looks to me like it's definitely smaller, noticeably smaller. Throw this on a mod real quick so we can take it apart. Now you notice the smaller glass drip tip. It's still pretty wide bore. I like it a lot. The V2 also comes with a Delrin drip tip. Same bore as the glass one. It's just black and Delrin. I like it. I think it looks pretty good on there. So yeah, anyway, let's move right along. Here is your barrel and top cap section. It is a two-piece top cap. Let's see if my juicy hands, hey, I got it. There's your barrel with your airflow. Here's the top cap, and you can see it looks pretty much the same. You got your fins for your airflow adjustment, but in here, there's a screen. Nice screen for spitback protection. And it's also for, if that fan should break down and a piece of that fan fly off, it will not be going down your throat. So that's definitely a plus. What's new on the V2? This part here actually unscrews. On the V1, this was all one piece. V2, this unscrews for cleaning, or if you need to clean out that screen or take the screen out, whatever you need to do, you can take that all apart. I'm not going to show you how, because I've seen Twisted 420 do it and it didn't seem like it was very easy for somebody with fat fingers like mine. But you can pop this center ring right out of here and pop that fan out for cleaning or replacement, or if you just don't like the fan, you can pop it right out of there and not have it. So this is awesome. I really like that they did this. Good work, Ohm Nation, Tobecco. Good job. Yeah, and that's that. That's your airflow adjustment, people. Alright, you guys, and here we are with the deck for the V2. Pretty much the same. Got your heat sink fins, Turbo Biome Nation on the bottom, Tobecco USA designed V2 2015. No serial number. Adjustable 510. And this is another plated copper. You can see here that the screws are fatter than the V1. Definitely fatter than the V1. You know what? Let me show you side by side. Alright, you guys. V2 on my right, V1 on my left. You can see these screws are much fatter. Even the posts, the negative posts are fatter. The negative posts are milled out of the deck. Square positive post. And it's got peak insulators down there. On both of them have peak insulators on the positive post. You can't see through my cotton and build, but that's alright. You guys know. If you've seen a 3-post Addy, you know. I will move the cotton a little bit so you can see these screw holes. I thought the screw holes were bigger on the V2, but after some further investigation, they look about the same to me. About a 2mm hole on both of them. So that could be a bit bigger, but overall the V2 for me is nicer. It's nicer construction, it's sturdier. I like the smaller airflow. I definitely like it. The V2 all around for me is the better Addy. So you've seen the ins and outs, you've seen how they work, you've seen what's going on with them. Let's put them both back together and we'll go back out. Me and Chase will vape on it and talk on it, and you'll get our pros and cons, and we'll get on out of here. Alright folks, now that you've been up close, you've seen the ins and outs, you've seen the major differences between the Turbo V1 and the Turbo V2. Now we're going to talk about our pros and cons. And the way we're going to do it, I'm going to pass it off to Chase, and he's going to talk about his pros and cons for the V1, and then I'm going to take over and talk about the pros and cons for the V2. So without further ado, here's Chase.
Hey, what's up guys? First and foremost, I want to say the Turbo RDA V1 is my favorite RDA to date. It's my all-day vape. I love it. I love it for the cool sensation you get from the fan. I know there's a lot of naysayers out there, but I do believe it does have some added cloud production. Whether or not that's real, I like to think in my head that it is. One con for this thing, man. I'm a crazy builder. You know, I like the big stuff, and it's got some really small post holes. Not really small, but they are, 2mm, and to me that's really small. I like 3mm and bigger. I love this thing though. A lot of people say the flavor gets muted, but I don't think so. I find great flavors, and really flavor, it's all about the build. Overall, this thing is great. I do prefer it with the glass chuck. I do not like it with the drip tip adapter that it does come with. I do not like that. I like the glass chuck, and I believe that's the only way to go with turbo. The noise doesn't bother me. A lot of people say that's a con. One con is the plastic Delrin airflow adjustment. I don't know. It doesn't really do well because it doesn't allow for single coil builds, and it also, in high heat, it kind of melts a little bit, which is kind of scary. Nobody wants to be vaping plastic, and I don't know. I think they could go about that a better way, but hopefully in the future, they fix that issue. But like I said, this is my all-day vape. It's my favorite. I've had about 4 of them all together. I love it.
Alright guys, now I'm going to take you through the pros and cons of the Turbo V2. For me, the pros, it has better flavor than the V1, and I think that's due to the smaller chamber size and the smaller airflow. It makes it more concentrated. Now that's just a personal pro. Most cloud chasers are going to want to go for the bigger airflow and the bigger chamber for the bigger vapor production, but for me, I'm an average vapor. I like, you guys know how I do it. 7 wraps, 0.2, 24 gauge is perfect for me. Boring as shit. But that's the average vapor, man. And I think the average vapor will love this because of the flavor. I really love the screen in there to protect you if that fan breaks off. It's not flying down your throat. It's also for spit back protection. But it can also be a con. I think that juice is going to get clogged up in there. You're going to have to take it out and clean it pretty often or it's going to kill your airflow. So more pros. For me, when I ran the Turbo V1, I had to close the airflow off about halfway before I had my comfortable vape. And with the size of this one, I leave the airflow wide open and I get a great vape every time. And as you heard, the sound is a bit quieter, quite a bit quieter than the V1. The V1 sounds like a vacuum, and this one sounds like a quieter vacuum. But for me, I enjoy that. I don't like the obnoxious sound, and I still have my V1. It's right here. I'm trying to trade it off. Anybody wants it. But this has fatter screws, which help with your builds. They don't come out as easy. They don't back out as easy from the heat, and they provide nice pressure and contact surface area for conductivity. It also has an adjustable 510 pin, which is a pro. It's some kind of plated copper. I think it's nickel plated copper. You saw it in the up close. And the price point. Element Vape, which is where I ordered this from, has it for $26.55. Their website will be on the bottom of the screen and in the description below. Go check them out. Pick up a Turbo V2 or a V1. Both of them are great addies in my opinion. Alright you guys, that's all we got for you tonight. Thank you for tuning in. It means so much to me. If you liked what you saw tonight, hit that thumbs up down below. Definitely. And you know how I do it. Somewhere up in here or up in here, somewhere there'll be a big yellow subscribe button. Hit that, stay up to date with these videos when I post them. You get to see more of me, and you get to see more of this goofy dude.
Me?
Yeah, you.
See you, YouTube.
Remember, as always, keep chasing those clouds, my friends. Live long in vapor. That's a wrap! Open my mouth.